Hello, students. Good evening. Today, in this video, we'll understand the concept ambiguity. So, let us start. Ambiguity is a fundamental concept in linguistics, philosophy, logic, and computer science, right? So, in uh, different areas, ambiguity is there, right? How it describes the phenomenon where a word, phrase, statement, or an idea is open to more than one interpretation. Very important thing is that in linguistics, ambiguity is the describes the phenomenon where a word, phrase, statement, or idea is open to more than one interpretation, right? Now, making the meaning unclear or indeterminate, right? Because you are not able to make out the clear meaning, so it makes a meaning is unclear or indeterminate. So it is essentially a breakdown in communication precision, so that it creates problem in communication, it creates hurdle in communication. So the term derives from the Latin ambiguous, meaning wandering about, reflecting the idea of multiple possible paths to understanding, because ambiguity means two or more than two meanings, so you are not able to decide what should be adopted. So what's the core problem of ambiguity? The problem with ambiguity is the lack of one to one mapping between the expression and its meaning, right? What is being expressed and what is the meaning, which is not clear. So lack of one to one mapping. Let us understand what is this. An expression E is ambiguous if it can denote two or more distinct meanings, meaning one E, right? That's a meaning one E, right arrow, meaning one, meaning two, meaning three, dots, meaning four, etc. The context often resolves this issue, but when context is insufficient, the statement remains ambiguous. Context often resolves this issue. Sometimes, if context is clear, then issue is resolved. But when context is insufficient, the statement remains ambiguous. Means if context, in what context you're talking about this thing, if context is not clear, then it remains ambiguous. Situation is ambiguous. So, this is the first thing, the core problem of ambiguity, right? Context is not sufficient, and that's why situation is not clear. Another thing is that's a type of linguistic ambiguity. Here we are talking about linguistic ambiguity, and what are the types? Linguistic ambiguity is categorized based on the scope of element, that is based on the scope of element, causing the multiple meanings, the word itself or the sentence structure. Sometime using word that is not clear. So that what they're saying, that ambiguity is categorized based on the scope of element, causing multiple meanings, right? The word itself or the sentence structure, this the sentence structure is not proper. So first is lexical ambiguity or word level. Ambiguity which is occurred on word level. This occurs when a single word has two or more different dictionary meanings. Right? Single word has two meanings, right? Then this problem is occurred. That is uh, called homonymy or polysemy. So, what is homonymy? Words that sound and spell the same, right? Sound and spell the same. So, same, one word. One word, of course, spelling is same, then sound must be same. So, this way you can remember homonymy is that's a sound and pronunciation. Sorry. Spelling is same. Spelling, right? So that is, of course, spelling is same. So sound is same, right? So that is, but have completely unrelated meaning. Means one word has different meaning. For example, bank, very common example, bank. One bank is institution, financial institution, and one bank is edge of river. So this is example of homonymy. Now words references homonymy is that's the children were playing on the bank. So our image is created in our mind, that's the edge of the river, but then children are playing on the bank means ground of bank. So that is also financial institution. So here, though one word homonymy you can understand this way. Homonymy means one word having number of meanings. Means same spelling, same word, same sound. So no need to pronunciation. But then one word has different meanings are called is called homonymy. So what is polysemy? Polysemy is single word multiple related meanings stemming from the same origin. Here, same word, right? Of course, same sound. You can understand this way. What is written here, that is okay. But you just listen me, you can understand policy me this way. That here also one word and different meaning, but somewhat these meanings are related with each other. For example, the ship's deck was empty. So that deck is that's a main floor of a ship, right? That's a front part of the ship is called. That's a front part. This part is called deck. Okay. So that's the first is the main floor of the ship. Interpretation 2, by extension, a pack of cards, a deck of cards, right? So the ship's pack of cards was empty, right? So that is another meaning. Means that is pack of cards are also called deck of cards, right? So here the ship's deck was empty. So first is direct meaning, but second maybe that deck is means they are talking about the uh, pack of cards, right? Was empty. So that's one card, then there is nothing that can be the another interpretation. So that is problem which is created by either homonymy or polysemy. Means word creates problem, word creates confusion. What which type of words? Which have same spelling, same of course pronunciation is, if spelling is same then pronunciation is same, but meaning, what's the difference between homonymy and polysemy? Homonymy is one word, same word, but Meaning is different. There is no relation between two meanings, bank and bank. But polysemy, word, of course, same spelling, so same sound word. But meaning somewhat it's related with each other, right? If you say foot, so that's a part of body, right? Foot. But if you say foot of the mountain, that is also lower part of the mountain. So somewhat it's related, right? So this is the difference between polysemy and homonymy. So problem creates which is created by word. Another problem is called syntactic or structural ambiguity, which is on sentence level. That was on word level, and second one is sentence level. This occurs when grammatical arrangement of words allows, that's the grammatical words, this is allows a sentence to be parsed, broken down, passes to broken down into two or more different ways, even if the individual words themselves are clear. We have to understand this one. Means this problem occurs because of grammatical arrangement of words, right? That allows to be parsed, to be broken down into two or more different ways. Because the sentence, suppose if I say that I am teaching you and I am teaching you, that is very clear. But if I say that I serve the man with the, if I say that chicken is ready to eat. So what chicken? Because this is this is the problem of word level. This is homonym. Another example. I have seen a woman with telescope. Yeah, that's the example of structural ambiguity because I have seen a lady with telescope. So telescope is in my hand or lady's hand. I've seen a lady who was holding a telescope, or I have seen the lady with with my telescope. Not clear. So this is called structural ambiguity, where a sentence is broken down or parsed into two different pieces, even if the individual word themselves are clear. Sentence is structured properly, but then meaning is different. So that is modifier attachment ambiguity. The most common type where it is unclear which part of the sentence, a phrase or clause is intended to modify. Very important thing. Which part of the sentence, a phrase or clause is intended to modify, which should be modified, not clear. Example, I served the man with the streak. Observe the man with the stick, right? So that's a, I used a piece of stick to serve the man. I beat him with it, or the stick was the tool, not clear. I served the man who was already accompanied by or possession of a stick, not clear. I served the man with the stick. This structure, I saw a man with the telescope. So sometimes this structure creates very big problem, right? So this is the with the stick with the telescope, right? So please, there are two interpretation, whether I, right? So that is whether I with the streak or man with the streak. As I told you another example, I saw a man with the telescope. So I saw, I telescope with whom? With me or with the man? That creates problem. Anyway, then scope ambiguity. Scope ambiguity occurs with quantifiers. Quanti is some, every, little, right? This is called quantifier. All, every, right? No. Or logical operations, operators. Logical operators is and or. When their scope of application is unclear. How? Let us see. Quantifier. You just keep in mind that's a quantifier, right? What quantifiers? For example, every quantifiers, every, some, each, है ना? So that's a which shows the quantity, right? So each student did not pass the exam. Here, first is that's a interpretation. Not every single student passed the exam. Some failed. Every student did not pass the exam. So every student, each and every person did not pass, the all fail, right? This is all fail. First is every student, or some fail, some pass. There is no student who passed the exam, and not every single student passed the exam, right? So that is some, every student did not pass the exam means some are remaining, some have passed, and that's every student did not pass the exam, each and every one. So that creates problem, which is called scope ambiguity, because there is scope ambiguity occurred when, because scope and quantifiers, this is the right quantifiers which shows the quantity, how much, right, number. Okay, so this is called lexical ambiguity. Another is pragmatic ambiguity. I'm not going to read because this is not given in your syllabus. But yes, okay, I read because this few lines. This type is not caused by words or structure alone, but by the context or speaker's intent. This occurs when a statement's literal meaning is clear, but its implied meaning, hidden meaning, or function is open to multiple interpretation. Pragmatics, practical. Can you close the door? A question about listeners' ability to perform the action. Means, do you have permission? Do you have daring to close the door? First interpretation. Second is request, a polite request to command or command to close the door. Could you please open the door? So that is, can you please open the door? That's a request. Can you please open the door? Because of situation, context is that you are not permitted to close the door, uh, but if you do, so can you please close the door? This way, right? That is pragmatics. That's a pragmatic, intention is not clear, right? So that problem occurs when the context or speaker's intention is not clear, what the context was, the intention, right? So sometimes you may ask that whether I am being requested or order, this way, right? Or not order, request, I'm being requested, or challenge, being challenged, something like this, right? Last part is that's the disambiguation. The process of resolving ambiguity is called disambiguation, and this is crucial in fields like software engineering, law, computational linguistics, etc. I'm not going to read because we have studied ambiguity in linguistics. So that is a little knowledge, and in this video we have discussed the ambiguity that is mainly caused by two things. First is word level, because of words, because same word but different spelling, and sometime same word and different meaning, sorry, different meaning, and meaning, both the meanings are not related, which is called homonymy. And same word, same pronunciation, but different meanings, but meanings are related to each other, like foot, right? Lower part of the body and foot of the mountain, lower part, right? So that is a part of the mountain. So that is polysemy. So but problem occurs because of word. Sometime word is not proper word, sometime the choice of word is not or context is not clear. So that is that creates problem, which is called lexical ambiguity, which is word level. Another ambiguity we discussed here, that is syntactical or structural ambiguity, which is occurred due to structure, due to grammatical structure. Sometimes word order is proper, uh, again uh, context is not clear. That's I gave you example. I have seen a man with telescope, right? So with telescope eye, which is in my hand or which is in the man's hand, not clear. So that is called structural ambiguity. Third we have seen, that is pragmatic. Pragmatic is that the intention is not clear, and then it creates problem, where we have seen the example of that's a, can you close the door? So challenging means you are restricted to close the door, but can you close the door? So that's a kind of challenge, right, is being given to you. And then can you please close the door? That's a request, that sounds as request. So that is not clear, intention is not clear, or context is not clear, and due to intention and context which is not clear, so that the problem, this ambiguity occurred, which is called pragmatic ambiguity. So that is all for today. Thank you so much. God bless you.